If you're in IT, you know the feeling, that certain dread that creeps in on the second Tuesday of every single month. Yep, it's Patch Tuesday, and that almost always means one thing, a mandatory reboot. But what if that decades-old cycle is finally, truly about to break? Oh yeah, we have all been there. The update drops, and right away, you're stuck with this impossible choice. Do you apply the patch right now and risk knocking critical services offline? Or do you wait and leave your systems vulnerable? It is a constant battle between security and uptime. And honestly, it's a choice nobody wants to make. For years, decades really, the process has been exactly the same. An update shows up, you install the patches, and then comes the really painful part, a full system reboot. Everything, from your most critical servers to everyday user desktops, just grinds to a halt. You wait, you hope nothing breaks, and you do it all over again next month. This is the cycle we're here to talk about fixing. So why do we even have to do this? Why is the reboot so non-negotiable? Well, it all comes down to a concept called in-memory locking. The analogy is pretty much perfect. You just can't replace the engine of a car while it's speeding down the highway, right? It's the same idea. Core system files are loaded up into memory. They're running, they're in use, they're locked. And the only way to swap them out for the new patched versions is to stop the whole car, the whole system, and restart it from scratch. But what if you could swap out a part of that engine while the car is still moving? That is the entire idea behind Hotpatch technology. It is a solution built from the ground up to do one thing: apply those critical security updates without forcing that painful, disruptive, system-wide reboot. And when you look at the difference, it's dramatic. We're literally going from a mandatory, high-stress reboot every single month to a predictable, planned one just once a quarter. This is a total game changer. It means you can roll out critical security fixes almost instantly without all the delays and headaches of trying to schedule downtime. Okay, so how is this even possible? How can you patch a running system without, breaking it? Well, it's not just one trick. It's actually a whole new way of thinking about updates, combining a new schedule with some seriously clever engineering that happens right inside the system's live memory. So instead of that monthly fire drill, everything shifts to this predictable quarterly rhythm. In month 1, you get what's called a baseline update. Now, this is the big one. It's got everything: features, quality fixes, security updates, and yes, this one still needs a reboot. But here's the magic. For the next 2 months, you only get security hot patches, and these are applied live, with 0 reboots required. To really wrap your head around this, we need to pop the hood and look at the technical wizardry going on. The best way to think about it is like you're redirecting the plumbing of the operating system while the water is still flowing. The first piece of this plumbing is called a forward attach. So imagine the old, vulnerable piece of code is a section of pipe. The Hotpatch comes along and installs a new secure section of pipe right next to it. The forward attach is basically the valve that reroutes the flow from the old pipe to the new one. It tells the system, hey, from this moment on, send all requests through this new patched code instead. Simple as that. But of course, that's only half the story. That new function still needs to be able to talk back to the rest of the original process. And that's exactly where the reverse attach comes into play. It makes sure that the new code can still access all the original stuff it needs, like other functions, system handles, you name it, so it can do its job properly. It basically completes the circuit. And what's really, really smart about this is that the whole system is cumulative. The hot patch you get in month 3 already includes the fix for month 2. This means the system doesn't have to juggle a complicated chain of patches. It just reroutes the plumbing straight to the latest, most complete version of the code. It's super efficient. Okay, this all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But where can you actually get your hands on this technology today? Let's do a quick reality check on where Hotpatch is available right now. Hotpatch actually started out as an internal thing for Microsoft's own servers, but its availability has grown a lot. It's not just for servers in Azure anymore. Now, you can get it for your on-premise servers using Azure Arc, and we're even seeing it on the client side for managed Windows 11 machines and in virtual desktop environments. Now, of course, Hotpatch doesn't cover absolutely everything. There are still a few components like .NET updates or some major changes to the Defender engine that are just too fundamental and will still need a traditional reboot. But the good news is Microsoft is on aligning these kinds of updates with that quarterly baseline release, so you shouldn't be getting any surprise reboots during those Hotpatch months. So,
After digging into all that technical detail, what's the bottom line? Why is this such a massive deal for anyone who manages computer systems?
It really just boils down to these three massive benefits. First, you get faster security. You can roll out critical fixes almost immediately, which dramatically shrinks your attack surface. Second, you get way better uptime for both servers and desktops. And third, it just makes your life easier. It simplifies that whole orchestration mess. You no longer have to plan your entire month around that one dreaded reboot cycle. You know, this technology really challenges a core assumption that we in IT have just lived with for decades. And that leaves us with a much bigger question. If the mandatory monthly reboot can finally be fixed, what other fundamental rules of IT are about to be broken next?